Okay, so for our inventory for setting up an oblique sit side bridge, diagonal sit side bridges, we're going to think that, first starting with our hip side associated, we do this for lower extremity, is we're going to vary this knee angle a little bit. So it'll be a little different for everybody. You can have a little higher, a little bit lower, got to find that good middle zone through here. So we feel good, pretty much our outcome is the contraction in the hip. Does it feel good and even, or does it feel like one part is straining? So we have our knee set up. We start with about a 90-degree angle from the body. We can vary that. Other thing we want to make sure we're working on is make sure we're not pulling the leg in too much. That means we're going to be pulling mostly from hamstring. You're going to see you're trying to do like a leg curl in the air. We don't really need that. So we want to keep this knee angle fairly constant, about 90 degrees. We can vary a little bit down on that too. We also want to have the toes up towards the shin, and almost like maybe even a little pickup on the big toe, almost like we're thinking of we're going to be stepping up and pushing forward. So it'd almost be like doing a box step on this side, make sure that arch is ready for it. On this side, if you drop a line down from the armpit, try and keep the elbow a little bit outside there. Make sure we're not bunching up like this, because that'll just be all upper trap and delt. And we want to think we're almost like lifting the rib cage a little bit away from the ground, so we're forming that nice arch underneath us for the bridge. So basically, this top foot, this can be in front, it can be behind, you can put a little knee help from here. I tend to put like a little bit of a tiptoe thing so we're not helping too much. We basically want to think, as we're going upwards and we're developing the lower hip, we can use this one for a little bit of help as needed, but we want to wean off that and eventually have it like in the air, which are the more advanced ones. So basically the way we're going to set this up is we're going to think nice and tall, good positioning, and we're going to think we're going to roll over, we're going to crease over the bottom hip socket and sort of over the top shoulder, so we're kind of loading that backside muscle groups on both those joints because this is a shoulder and a hip exercise. We're going to roll over, think that knee contact into the ground, make sure we don't lose that. We're going to press the hip up a little bit and back down. Roll across, hip, press up. We can start to go a little bit forward, then back down. We're more focused on feeling a nice smooth hip contraction on that bottom side, connecting through sort of the abdominals and to the shoulder blade to make sure we have that nice little line forming underneath, usually taking tension out of some of the other spots we're trying to chase away. So once again, set up would be knee position, about 90, vary that a little bit. Not making sure we're not pulling the heel in, toes up towards the shins. I think we're going to lift away from the ground, get that nice little arch forming. Roll across, feel a crease on the lower hip, crease on the shoulder. Almost like push that knee into a ground a little bit to then raise up and back down. Feeling that connection from the knee through like through the hip, abdominals to lower shoulder blade down to elbow.